So today, man, we are headed to KBTX Channel 3 News to be interviewed on the 3 show. And it's really neat to me, or sentimental actually, because, man, I grew up in the area and I grew up as a kid watching this news station. And so to be able to go and be interviewed and highlighted for some of the things that I've done at a news station that I grew up watching, it just blows me away, and I'm truly grateful for that. The new books, the 2 new books that I've released are Destiny to Dallas, Lessons Learned Along a Coaching Journey. And I released that with Coach Ramon Chin Young. And when that released, we hit #1 in professional development on Amazon. So that's a blessing. And then my most recent book is The Impact of Influence, Volume 9, Sharing Love to Impact and Influence. And that hit #1 on Amazon, a couple different categories as well. So just going to highlight, my journey, discuss the 2 new books, and, possibly talk about, where we're going to go in the future. Destiny to Dallas is co-written by Coach Ramon Chin Young Sr., and he and I were former high school coaches, Texas high school coaches in the area in North Houston. And so he's a Westfield guy, went to Westfield, Westfield, grew up there, really good player, played college football, and then came back, was able to coach at his high school. And so ended up being a really good coach there. And so myself, when I got out of college, was a coach as well, high school coach. And so he and our teams competed against each other. We actually, knew each other from afar. But when we really got close is we had an opportunity to work the Texas A&M football camp. And so we got close there, became really good friends. And then he eventually got a head coaching job, athletic director job. And so just supported him, interviewed him a couple of times on my platform to highlight him, because I think he's a great guy and does great stuff to take care of kids and for the community. So I just wanted to show love and highlight him, and we created a bond. And as we continue to grow, I continue to grow in what I'm doing, the podcasting, YouTubing, speaking realm. Feel like I'm at the pinnacle of that, and he continued to grow and to where he got to be an NFL coach. So now he's currently the assistant O-line coach for the Dallas Cowboys. And so, we're at the pinnacle of what we do. And so we just had some convos about our journey, lessons learned in our journey. And so we shared that in that book. And, we were intentional about making that a resource for coaches, because, coaches need so many things as far as a resource. And so we're able to just give them the real about our journey in hopes to help coaches be better on their journey. Just to have the opportunity to coach in the NFL. Let me say that again, the opportunity to coach in the NFL. And so that's the play on words with the title Destiny to Dallas. So, as a coach, growing up, the Cowboys are America's team, and so to be able to coach with the Cowboys, that's a destiny in itself. But then when you look at it, the cover, it's a shot of, the stadium there. And there's a guy walking, you can see looking over his shoulder, looking at the stadium. And in Texas, the high school state championship games are played at that stadium as well. So that's a destiny for a coach to make it to play at the Cowboy Stadium. So that's kind of our play on words, play on the theme there for Destiny to Dallas. I think I didn't have a per se grasp on the exacts of that, but what I did know is that I wanted to use the talents and the skills that the big man has given me to use that to be a blessing to others and serve. And so I didn't know where that was going to take me, but I did know in knowing that and then combining that with my passions. My passions are sports. My passions are learning. My passions are education. My passions are giving service. My passions are helping. In tying what I wanted to be, what my thoughts were as far as with my passions, man, I think it's come together pretty nicely. And really man, it's really far surpassed anything I ever thought that it would be in my life. Like I never would have imagined any of this in my life. I never would have thought that it would have taken me here. I say this all the time. Growing up, I didn't grow up around people that wrote books. So like an author, but wow, And so to have 22 books, like it's crazy. I never thought that the destiny would be here. So I don't know. That's tough for me to answer because I didn't have a set thing on what I wanted my destiny to be. Like I've been open and willing to just, like they say in the church, let the big man use you and put you where you need to be. And so that's kind of my MO in my life. Set goals, short-term, long-term, BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goals. But the plans that the big man have for me far surpass any of those goals that I could ever set for my life. Writing books, and I was not a big reader, is different. Growing up, I really didn't care to read. I read, the stuff that I had to read in school, to make decent grades, because that was the expectation. My mama didn't mess around with that. Boy, you gonna do that? But that was the expectation, was to take care of your business. So I read what I had to read. I read what I had to read, but it really wasn't a passion for me. And then when I got into college, like I love music, I love hip hop, and I love stories. So I got into reading like hip hop magazine, like Vibe magazine, Hip Hop XL, and so I got into the stories behind those successful people. And so then I got into like autobiographies. Then that ventured into self-help, inspiration, motivation. And then I got to where, man, I just would always read. And then now, it's gotten to where audiobooks, all of that stuff, podcasts, on top of reading books. And so how it kind of transpired for me is in coaching, in teaching, you prepare, right? You prepare to deliver lessons. You prepare. And for me, my writing is a spinoff of my teaching, right? So I consider myself to be I strive to be a great teacher. Like I love teaching, sharing, and learning experiences. So I think that's how I kind of just morphed into being an author with my personal skills. But then an opportunity to be an author really just came from being around people that are other authors, and they saw things in me that I didn't see in myself, and they kind of helped show me the ropes on some things to help me become that, because they believed in me. And so again, and actually I don't even think a lot of people know this now, but I used to write articles for the Texas High School Coaches magazine. And that was a pretty neat deal because it was a resource for the guys that I was in the profession with, which is coaching. So that's kind of the journey of going from not really enjoying reading, but becoming an author. So that really don't make sense, but here we are. So the question was, what are some moments in my life that God was preparing me to be and do what I do now? And everything, because I believe that we have to be in the moments with the moments that we're blessed to have. And then on top of that, magic moments make magic memories. And so everything that I've been blessed to achieve and do in my life, I'm so grateful that I have been in the moment and strive to give my all to it, because what it's done for me is it's allowed me to learn so many things, right? It's taught me so many lessons that were blessings, right? Or there were blessings in those lessons that have really helped me to be who I am now. And so uh, I'm just grateful that the big man gave me some sense to just, not take those moments lightly, to just give my all in those moments, to just learn the things that I'm supposed to learn in those moments. And so, I mean, now it's really helped me. For example, and this is like life lessons. So one example is I was raised in a single parent household. And so, when you're raised in a single parent household with a single parent mom and you're a boy, I mean, well, there's some struggles you're gonna have there, right? I mean, there's some natural, not taking anything back from my mother, because my mother was a superhero, right? She was amazing, and she did great. Like, she was an amazing lady and did great things for us, went above and beyond. But there's some things that you have to do. And my father was in my life, but from afar. He lived in Dallas, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that my mother had a faith background, and she was able to have grace and forgive, and put her kids above what they felt, right? And so, because of that, I know what that love feels like, unconditional love. Because of that, I know what grace and forgiveness is. Because of that, I learned that it's bigger than me. It's not about me. I can't be selfish in situations. And so, just seeing that, just navigating that in life, man, that has really helped me so much. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that until, one, I was in, married in a relationship, but two, to I was around kids that had those same situations. And so, like I know what it feels like, right? Like, a kid don't have to tell. Like, I know when a kid's hungry. Like, if he hungry, like, he don't care about math. Like, the lesson I'm trying to teach him, I got to get him fed, so the stomach don't hurt. Like, I know that life. And so, like, I get it. Like, I can't say, well, man, I don't know what's wrong with that kid, bro. He hungry. Like, he don't care. Like, man, he just saw the devil in his neighborhood. Like, he ain't worried about science. No. Right. And so, like, those things, it's really been a blessing for me, because it has allowed me to relate to people, or kids, or grown-ups, if you will, that have been in those situations, because I know the life. And so that's one moment. I think another is, man, and this give me chills. I hadn't even said it yet. This is good. But um it showed me that the importance of valuing the people around you, because I think we can all learn from one another, and making sure that we respect the people that we have. Prime example is, in this case, the guy that's behind this camera, that's running the camera, right? Prime example of that. I was his coach when he was a young guy, and um, I could have been an idiot or a jerk, or I'm not that, or mistreated people, or talk down to them, like, I'm the coach, I done all of this, and I have the degree, and I could have been, mightier than thou. But for me, it wasn't about that. It was about, man, enjoying the experience with these guys that I'm blessed to be around, and not taking it lightly, and striving to be the best version of myself, so that I can help them be the best version of their self. And here we are, man, I don't know, 20 years later. Uh, and now, we've connected back again, and I'm learning so much from him, right? Even though I learned a lot from him then, I'm still learning a lot from him now, on the camera, different setup with the camera stuff, and the editing and software, and, the faith-based things. Like, there's so many things I'm continuing to learn from him. So those are moments in our life that, man, we have to understand, we have to value the people that we're blessed to be around, because, man, that stuff comes back to you. Oh, man, like it just, I can't tell you, like the people that have been my biggest supporters in the things that I've done, speaking, books, podcasts, YouTube, have been the people that I poured into a long time ago. And like at the time, I wasn't saying, hey, I'm going to be good to this guy because I know later down the road, we're going to be doing content. And he's going to teach me all these things. Like, I had no clue of that. But what I did know is, man, value people and treat people right. And that's one of the moments, man, that have really helped me and been a blessing in my life that's helping me now. When I started my podcast, a couple of my first interviews or came from relationships, right? Life moves at the speed of our relationships. And so when you develop those and you value people, you're rich. You know, when you're rich in relationships, man, you can do some great things in life. And I'm the evidence and the research of that, right? Growing up, never really had money, but have always had great relationships. And so the big man has always seemed fit to take care of me and my family because of that. And so, man, just prime example is like the first couple episodes. I'm just going podcast here. My first episode was a guy that I met at an event in Austin. We developed a relationship. He was my very first episode. He's a big time muralist in Austin, Texas. Mike True Johnson. I'm gonna send a shout out to him. So if you see any like murals or anything in Austin that has truth on it, it's him. And so he does work. And he's done like work with Nike, with KD when they drop the shoes, like they do. I mean, he's a big time cat, but just a great dude, man. So relationships, Manny Trujillo, we grew up together. His dad was one of my little league baseball coaches, right? We were on the same teams in high school. He was in the first 5 episodes that I did for my podcast, and we're still close to this day. A couple of my players, Darius Nams is his name, one of the guys. Man, so happy for him. He owns a barbershop in Austin now, but I was his running back coach at Conroe High School. And so, we developed a strong relationship. When he started cutting hair, he would test and try it on my hair, and my son. And so, he cut us in college. He would cut us. He went to college. And then when he got out, he was, went to be an entrepreneur, and now he owns his own barbershop in the Austin area. And so that's another prime example of relationship stuff. And we've done lots of different content together. So he's a sharp cat, man. And so we bounce back different ideas, talk all the time, text all the time. Another example is Desmond Jones and Marquise Buki Sneed. They Conroe guys. They've been authors in my book, so I was able to make them help them be best-selling authors. So like all of those things. And that's just a few. Like, man, I could do that for days, right? And I'm not saying like to be like, but I'm saying it to say, like, it's a blessing to be able to have that, and those things don't happen, and I know that, and I don't take it for granted, and I don't take it lightly, and I'm truly grateful for that. I know what it looks like. So, like I said, I grew up with a single parent mom. Both of them boys, like twins, they grew up with a single parent mom as well. And so having that similar thing, like, it allowed me to be real close with them guys. I mean, even so close that like Desmond Fat, the spring of his senior year, he was like, Bake, man, like, man, I'm gonna lock in, because I want to focus in. I want to play college football, right? And I was like, well, let's get it. And so he and we worked out together his senior year. Best shape of my life. No, no, man. We got it in, man. And he ended up going to UT and actually eventually starting at cornerback. Yeah, not UT in North Texas.
Okay.
He went to North Texas and ended up starting at cornerback. When they played UT, he was the starting cornerback. And so, man, just excited. And he'll tell you, man, like all the time he tell me, like both of them guys, you know, man, thanks so much for the influence that you've had on my life. And man, that gives me chills just even saying that. But what they don't know is they had a major influence on my life, you know, and it was my honor and privilege to be able to just be there for them and help in any way that I could. And what's really cool, man, is like when you do those kind of things, like the parents really appreciate that. Like it's a great, like it's one thing for people to love you, right? But like when people love your child because they love you, oh man, that's a whole, man, that's when it gets real good, y'all. And so, man, just pouring into those boys, man. So happy for them, man. Now they're grown men. They got kids. They actually got girls that play on softball team at Conroe High. They're crazy, you know. And so, like those things, man. That's what it's all about. And you never know, you know. But what you know is that's like the seeds, you know, sowing the seeds, you know. I'm trying to verbalize that feeling, but it's a feeling of overwhelm. It's a feeling of gratitude. Um, it's a feeling of glad that the big man is giving me strength to continue to push. I'm glad that I was able to understand that it's not about me, right? In all of those cases, like if I would have just said, well, it's just about Chip. If it was just about me and titles and what can I accomplish, if it was just about that for me, yeah, when it got tough, I would have quit. But I understood that there was a bigger calling, there was a bigger purpose than me. And so it allowed me to get up every day and do my thing, right? Because if I don't get up and do my thing, then those people that are dependent on me, um, they aren't fed. They don't get to eat. And that's unacceptable, right? So I think when you can put it like that, there are no bad days. There are no days where they're tough. They're tough. Things are gonna be tough, but like where I can't give up. I can't quit because I know I got people depending on me, and so it's allowed me to continue to push because I knew that I had people depending on me and people looking up to me um, to do great things for them. And then on the flip side of that, I received that back. I mean, not that I definitely have not done it to do that, right? But I'm telling you, man, I received that back in 100-fold because of it, and people have really helped me. Um, and my mom used to say this to me: "You never mistreat anybody because you don't know who you're gonna need to help you." And we all will need help sometime in our life. Trust me. Some of us need a lot more help than others, right? And so, man, that's just how I strive to live and operate. And it's just been so cool to see how people have helped me because of that. I don't say